What's up, party people? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to another broadcast of Black with No Chaser Live. My name is George Chuck Patterson, all the way from sunny South Mississippi, but it's not so sunny today. And I'm joined by my buddy Cirillo. What's up, bud?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? You know, I will say though is that as I look upon the Washington D.C., is quite the day out there. It's beautiful, man. Clear skies. You know, it's a lovely day in the district. And so, but good to be on with you, brother. How you doing?
Man, I am doing great. I am preparing for homecoming. So I don't know about you. I know your homecoming is a little later than mine, but
hello.
Yes, sir. This weekend, the bells and the whistles will be in motion.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm excited, man, to go back to the heights of Seven Hills in Tallahassee, Florida, man, to be on the illustrious campus of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, man. You know, awesome. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that, man. The whole Morgan State family, and those that have been dealing with gun violence and had to cancel their homecomings because of the tragic, you know, events. You know, I want to say that, you know, we out there, we praying for y'all. You know, and whatever, how we could be a resource here at Black with No Chaser. Y'all know we always got y'all back. But back to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, my university. Yeah, man, I'll be down there, bro. You know, and shout out to everybody who made 40 under 40, man. I'll be celebrating on that Friday night, October 27th. So if y'all folks haven't gotten your tickets for that, your boy, we pulling up for one night and one night only, because I got to take care of some business in Birmingham the next day. But I'll be there Friday night. I will be there Friday night for sure.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Shout out to all our Tougaloo folks, Jackson State folks. I'm a Tougaloo representative. We're doing our homecomings on the same weekend, so all the hotels are sold out. The Airbnbs, the VRBOs, all of that stuff is sold out. But that's not why we're here today. We'll do that this weekend. But today we are here at Black with No Chaser Live, celebrating a hidden figure. Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated leads the way with STEM, and later today we'll be talking with BK Fulton and Teresa Peterson. So Cirillo, do you want to do an intro for Teresa?
Yeah, man, look, I am actually so very, very glad. I mean, honestly, the Teresa has had an amazing career in the government relations space out here in Washington D.C. And so while I don't think we got the time to read the entire bio, I think it's
do the whole thing.
Warm up the stage a little bit, and so people understand exactly why Ms. Peters is in fact on the board at the National Center of Women's Innovations, or NCWI, as we refer to throughout the show. But as a senior executive director of government relations and technology programs at GE, Teresa leads a team over there responsible for the government relations technology portfolio and the company's strategic initiative to build and expand its external research and development, or R&D, partnerships within the U.S. and around the world. And what I will say is, before we got on the show, I'll take a little personal privilege here, just say that, look, one thing is for sure that, you know, Teresa and is probably one of few Black women in those spaces, and I mean, she could not be in a more pivotal role as we look at STEM. Also, she's a part of Kappa Alpha Incorporated. So you know, we'll be talking more about her journey and why that's so important in this STEM space. But yeah, we still got to talk about my man BK. So Chuck.
Most definitely. And look, you can't go wrong with a brother that's got a name like BK Fulton. That's a brand in itself. BK is the chairman of 7 companies and an award-winning filmmaker and author. In 2017, BK founded Solidify, not Solidify, but Fly Productions, a film, stage, and TV investment company designed to promote a more inclusive narrative in media. He's also a principal with Ralph Sampson and Jim Franklin in Winter Circles Ventures, a $100 million strategic investment company targeting all entrepreneurs, especially women and minorities. BK is considered one of the most influential African Americans in tech And man, it is such a pleasure to be with both of them. And so we give some applause and welcome them to the stage. BK.
Yeah, look, and also got to mention too, though. By the way, and excuse me, Teresa, but this is an important point to make here is that back in 2021, by GE, she was appointed as the Chief Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Officer for GE Research. More importantly, she serves on the CEO's Diversity Council as an advocate for representation in the STEM space, right? And so that is why we're here, folks. So welcome to the stage, Teresa Peterson and BK Fulton, man. So glad to have y'all on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So
good deal.
So I mean, I think that the elephant in the room here is that we're talking about Hidden Figures, the National Council on Women Initiatives, and so we'll get to that in a second. We'll be bringing up more graphics so y'all can kind of chime in on that. But I think first and foremost, I think the first question has to go to the lady in the room here. So Ms. Peterson, just a little bit about yourself, right? And why it's so important for you at this particular juncture in your life to be part of a board as such at NCWI.
Thank you again, Cirillo and George. And it's always great to be with BK. For me, this is really important, celebrating women innovators. I've spent my entire corporate career, in innovation. And as we've discussed before, many times when I've walked into a room, the pickings have been slim. When you're looking for folks who might look like those of us who are here on this broadcast. And so it's always been very important to me that we support those of diverse backgrounds in the area of science, technology, and engineering and art. Because I think as you continue to go down the road of STEM, you also can appreciate the role of art, BK. You can appreciate the role of art in STEM. So this has been a passion of mine for over 30 years. I can't say that, when I was growing up that this is what I thought I'd be doing, and definitely not in Washington, D.C., but it's indeed a passion to drive young people into the lucrative careers of STEM.
So, Ms. Peterson, I wanted to share this with you. My wife is a member of Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. You heard how I hit that Alpha Kappa Alpha. I listen and I play well with others, especially my wife.
You're a good.
Yeah, so shout out to my wife, Shallon Patterson. She's with Upsilon Chi Omega chapter here in Gulfport, Mississippi. So they're getting ready to plan one of the regional conferences. So now with you all having such a history as AKA, what does it mean for you at this particular time and all of the things that are happening around women's rights and things like that?
So let me first tell you, yes, I am a legacy. So I grew up in Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and have always seen women on the forefront of these kinds of issues, whether it be the role of education in our lives and in our community, to the role of how do we provide equity across the spectrum in the space of healthcare, justice, and again, most importantly, education. Kappa Alpha has always been at the forefront of these issues. And again, as an individual who grew up as a legacy, watching my own mother as a member of the sorority and as a leader in the sorority, it became very, very important to me that I continue that legacy in service to our communities and service to mankind. You get that? Service to mankind across the spectrum. As you well know, we were the first African-American sorority. Dr. Gladys West is also a member of that sorority, as well as of the sorority, as well as her daughter. And it's just become increasingly important for us to engage across our communities and drive our young people. We have a number of different program elements within the sorority that really talk about driving our young people into careers that are really going to make a difference in our communities. And as we all know, and particularly now as we have the debate, I think Sorella mentioned earlier, we talked about this thing called the energy transition. What's the role? What role are we going to play in the energy transition? Because again, if we don't train this next generation of young people for careers in engineering and STEM and AI and computer science, machine learning, we're going to miss, we're going to miss out. And so it becomes increasingly important for us to have the opportunity to talk about the role of STEM in our community and to bring our kids along, and to, especially with women and young girls, not to be afraid of math. There's so many different creative things that you can do to start to engage kids and keep them interested in the areas of STEM.
BK, I know you sitting over thinking like, man, I sure want to jump in here just one time. But no, I think that but this is a good time though. I think one is like maybe a little bit about your journey, and then also why this is important to you. People are probably thinking like, why they got a brother on the National Center of Women's Innovations and not another sister or another woman, or someone who identifies as a woman, I should say. And so, but why is it important for you to be on this board?
Sure. So I'll start with that. As you've heard Teresa say, it is critically important for our young people to be involved in STEM careers. I echo the idea of adding art, because of that left brain and right brain working together is a powerful combination. For me, being a middle child with two sisters, I realized that it's important for men to support this effort, because we become part of the stereotype, right? We've all heard, girls aren't good at math. The woman we're honoring invented GPS, so you got to be kind of good at math to invent
just a little bit,
a little something. And so at the end of the day, I want men to step up for our women, our sisters. They've always been there for us. They've always come through. We all are here because some woman, more often than not, loved us enough to give our dreams a chance. And so I wanted to be a part of that. My backstory is I was flunking out of engineering school and went to the library to plan my escape and picked up books about people like Dr. West and Lewis Howard Latimer and Granville T. Woods and Elijah McCoy. And learning about the accomplishments of our ancestors took me from the probations list to the dean's list to the board of directors at Virginia Tech, where they're flying me in a jet to govern the school. And I realized that if I could do that by reading books, then if I could put it on the big screen and have great stories and great music and wrap those stories into a package that helped our people, then I could help the multitudes, not just kind of each one teach one, but each one teach as many as you can.
What you about to say, Jack?
Look, I was trying to dig in more on the filmmaking side, and because I mean, you got your undergraduate degree from Virginia Tech, right?
Right, Virginia Tech undergrad, master's in management science from Harvard and the New School, and a Juris Doctorate in intellectual property, telecommunications, and electronic commerce law.
Like I can get the IP. I can get the IP, but how do we get all of that?
I was gonna traverse that route, man. I ended up, man, somebody pulled me to DC, and the rest was history. I got into policy. I was literally gonna be an IP corporate lawyer and graduated law school and beeline to DC as if I never had as if literally like policy was gonna be what I was gonna do for the rest of my life, and communications. And but now we're here. Thankfully, if not, I wouldn't be in front of y'all probably right now. So it's an amazing moment to have y'all on this platform. And by the way, y'all, if y'all just jumping on, man, we got Teresa Peterson here and BK Fulton online with us on Black with No Chaser Live. We're talking about celebrating the hidden figure, Dr. Gladys B. West, who's we should have mentioned, who's a member Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and so is Miss Peterson here, and how they're leading the way on STEM. And again, we'll get more into the actual gala itself and what we're celebrating and why we're really bringing these folks to the stage. But if you're tuning in, thank y'all so much, man. Make sure y'all dropping comments and celebrating Black women and women in general in innovation. So anyway, Chuck, my bad. I just want to come right there and do my little host thing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You did great at that. I wanted to ask Ms. Teresa about Alpha Kappa Alpha's commitment to STEM, and then also to give us, some details about the actual event, which BK is actually serving as MC. So I know that there's a STEM focus or a STEM education focus for AK. So can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a number of different programs that have focused around STEM and STEM activity, based on our previous presidents as well as even our current president, who will also be there. Danette Anthony Reed, who is the international president. That's right, who is the international president.
Just met her in the airport.
That's right, of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. One of our newest initiatives, YLI, Youth Leadership Institute, is really, again, around taking young people, both men and women, young boys and girls, and giving them opportunities to lead. As you know, a lot of times when we go and work in community groups with kids, we like to tell them what to do. But the nice thing about ULI is they become the leaders within ULI. They are the ones that are running the meetings. They are the ones that are picking the projects to work on. In my own local chapter, Alpha Beta Alpha Omega chapter, of which I am a charter member.
Come on, charter member. Come on.
Of which I am a charter member. This group will focus on STEM activities as well, particularly around what does it take to do a emergency response packet, right? But in doing that, what's the emergency? Is it hurricane? Is it tornado? Is it something that's catastrophic? But in defining what's catastrophic, as you know, you've got to think about a lot of different things. And I think many of the things that we've seen most recently, particularly as it relates, again, forgive me for talking about climate change, but as you think about climate change, the storms have become much more violent. You need now may actually you may have to prepare not for just 24 hours or 48 hours, but you may have to prepare for, a couple of days, 7 to 10 days. So all of that is a part of what we have that goes on within this new kind of what we call Youth Leadership Institute. The gala, again, as we're celebrating, it's on October 27th, the evening of October 27th. Our esteemed BK Fulton will be the MC, and we're excited because we do anticipate a lot of activity going on that evening. We're going to even have what we call a text to give, because this is really a pivotal moment, not only for Dr. West, but certainly also recognizing the work of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, but most importantly, again, as we've indicated before, the work of women innovators, and how appropriate for us to be celebrating an African-American female who, quite candidly, I don't even think my kids can read a map, right? They use ways, right?
She developed technology behind it. Like, she's the pioneer. And like to BK's point, when you hear about these stories, you but then you start thinking like, wait, what else have we done? And what else have women paved the way on? It makes you begin to, naturally, I think it's a logical flow of just a thought process around like what else have others done before me, and where can I find this information? Maybe you want to try to write your letter resignation in terms of engineering school on the way out the library. Maybe you can Google some folks these days. But what I love about the website, about NCWI, is that it kind of highlights and showcases some of the women that were in STEM and the strides they've made, and the pioneers behind a lot of the technology we see today. And so, folks, while you're online right now at womensinnovation.org gala getting them tickets. You should also peruse around and look at some of the innovations and the work that's being done right now, the exhibits, K through 12 STEM, and so on and so forth. And make sure you're actually giving these coins, supporting NCWI in every single way possible. So anyway, I'll get back to it. Now, BK, I will tell you, man, being a host and somebody that's hosted and MC some events, what are you most looking forward to as being the MC of the night?
I'm looking forward to the interaction with all the guests and particularly the young girls that we're inviting. Part of what we've talked about is inspiration. And Teresa and I were particularly adamant about creating an opportunity for the future innovators of the world to be at this event so that they can witness the celebration of this remarkable woman, Dr. Gladys West. As you heard me say earlier, it was stories about people like Gladys that inspired me to go on and become a leader and to now become an investor in companies, a bit of a philanthropist. The science on this is quite remarkable. So if you are a Black or brown child, you are more likely to see a cat, a dog, or a humanoid on the cover of a book or inside the pages of a book than an image that you relate to. Why is that important? Because if you identify with the image on the cover of a book or inside a book, you are 3 to 10 times more likely to believe that you can achieve what the main characters achieve. And that becomes critically important. So when you got people talking about erasing history and not telling our stories, what we put in peril is the motivation and elevation of our own young people. You have to tell them who they are before the world tells them who they are not.
Hello. Hold on. I gotta give you the whole. Come on, dog. Hey, woo! I absolutely love that. And folks are chiming in the comments. We've got Jamila Cooper. She's one of our active viewers. She was on with us Nightcap Knowledge last night. She's saying that she didn't know that a Black woman pioneered GPS. I don't know how much more proof the world needs to see that Black women are necessary. Look, I love it. I
mean, it's kind of tough to check, man. Is like, because think about this now, Jamila, and reason why, and I just want to take a moment here for Black with No Chaser, and really why we started Black with No Chaser, right? It was these moments here. Like, it wasn't the glitz and the glamour and the fame, because for sure, and I'm not famous. I don't know about Chuck. He's a little more famous than me. But it wasn't about that. It was literally the underrepresentation, the misrepresentation, or no representation at all in these kind of spaces. And I just want to say that this is a special moment where we can actually give information to folks and it literally be well received and immediately realize, like, wow, I didn't even know that was even the case. And now thinking about this, imagine what Jamila may say now to a little Black girl around and say, hey, look, this is the person that actually created a thing that allows you to drive in the car. And then now you ain't got to pick up a paper map anymore. The technology was made by a Black woman right here. And by the way, we should mention that she is part of Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And so, for all the little Black girls out there one day thinking about, what's your place and where you should be, can be, and will be. That's in any and every room you want to be in, because Black women have been paving the way and mopping the floors for many moons. And to have that moment right there is really just a tidbit of why, like, I love Black with No Chaser, though.
Hey, look, let me throw this out there, and it's really important. I love those points. Align myself with everything that's been said. It is so important that we do this work. At the end of the day, we are an aggregate of all our experiences, and we kind of become the change we seek. And so when you inspire young people, especially young girls, you literally change the trajectory of the world. The cures for all the things that ail human beings are out there. God distributes genius randomly among our species, and you can work up into where you're in a place where you can give back. And so just letting people know that they can do it. When I was a young kid, I didn't put myself on the success narrative of humanity, because all the stories I was getting out about us was we got beat up, we got robbed, we got tore up, slavery, blah, blah, blah. And so we are oversaturated on our pain, and we don't hear enough about our progress. And it's that truth of all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, that sets us free. But please tell me about the stuff that we have done. Tell my children. I got a friend that plays golf, and we wrote a book together that won a National Book Award. It happened to be a Jewish guy. And he said, well, BK, tell me one of them history points that I don't know anything about. I said, what you like to do? He said, I love playing golf. I was like, okay, here we go. Did you know that a brother invented the golf tee?
That's right.
Like,
I was just telling this 5-year-old who I was playing golf down with in Florida. I said, did you know a black man invented this? And while that, that's probably overhead right now, it's like planting those seeds and really saying that not just a black man, but pointing to her skin color, like somebody with your skin color, with your hue, like invented that tea. And she now goes around, she was like, black man invented the tea. And then so like seriously.
So check this out. Not only did Dr. George Grant invent the golf tee and got a patent in 1899, but he also was the first black professor at Harvard.
That's right.
And was a dentist.
That's right.
And so the point I'm making is we have always been excellent. We have always been multi-talented. You look at Teresa, you look at me, you look at you accomplished brothers, and people want to kind of make us an anomaly or make us exceptional. And while we bad to the bone and we get it done and black girls are magic, what I want everybody to know is that you can do it too. Anything that we have done or any human being has done, you can do it too. And just to simplify it, I'm gonna shut up. There are mirrors and windows in the world. And when you are young, it's important to have those mirrors, to see yourself reflected in the media, in the words, and the images that you take in. So then it's easier for you to know where you fit, and also to look through somebody else's window and say, I can do what they did too, because I'm a human being just like them. But if you don't have adequate mirrors and you don't have a strong sense of self and who you can become, then imposter syndrome sets in. You go into those private spaces or those exclusive spaces that Teresa and I find ourselves in, or we're the only one, and you wondering, should you even be here? Not always realizing that y'all was a part that created the whole thing in the first place. So that's why we're celebrating Gladys West. That's why we're here inviting people to come. It's going to be a moment. People are going to be inspired. Deborah Roberts is flying in to do the keynote.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, and we hope that people can experience it and be as excited about it as we are.
And we got and look, and Teresa, will come right back to you, but we got my boy Tim and Kyle Durrett. He's also going to be in the building, man. I hope you're doing well down there in Atlanta, brother. Sorry I'm gonna miss y'all on October 27th, but Teresa, if you can really encapsulate this, like honestly, this moment in history, this gala, and truly, like, what you're looking forward to in that night. I know we got about 2 minutes left, but we'll give the last words to you, sis.
So, Cyril, BK said something that's really, really important, even at the start of this. And some of the folks who are watching say they're using the same term. It's inspiration. Inspiration to be, and it's cliche, to be all that you can be. BK worked hard such that he can be who he wants to be, but most importantly, that someone else who may be watching this or who may watch this later can see someone like BK, can even see someone like me and say, you know what, I can do that. And also understand that there's not necessarily a straight line. There are going to be twists and turns, and you're not going to feel comfortable all the time, but push yourself. But this weekend is about inspiration and celebrating the world of women and African-American women in innovation.
I love that. Well, Chuck, man, go ahead and roll us out, brother. We got another minute, 30 seconds, whatever we got left, man. I just want to say personally, thank you, Teresa, and thank you, BK, for really joining us today. I know that you all some very, very, very busy people, and you could be anywhere but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. On behalf of the entire Black Willow Chaser family, all 500,000, 600,000 people following us worldwide, and the millions of people we touch every single month. Thank you so much for the work that you do, and keep on inspiring people to, you know, be the next generation of folks in STEM. But Chuck, man, go ahead and take us out, brother.
Most definitely. Thank y'all for joining us today. We are talking the NCWI inaugural gala honoring Dr. Gladys B. West, October 27th, 2023, 7 p.m. at the Ritz-Carlton in Pentagon City, Virginia. Dr. Gladys B. West, the mathematician whose mapping of the world enabled GPS. You can get your tickets at womensinnovations.org/gala. Once again, thank you for joining Black with No Chaser Live, and we'll see you next time.